To install the Rixson 28 center hung floor closer, the door frame must first be in place and a cavity provided for the closer in the concrete floor. For this demonstration, a metal box represents the hole. A template with dimensions is included with your closer. To install the closer, you'll need a cement case and the floor closer body. Check to be sure you have the correct model number and hand for your installation. You'll need 4 brass screws for attaching the closer body to the case, a spindle collar, and a walking beam top pivot. For wood doors, you'll need a bottom arm package. And for doors without thresholds, a finished cover plate is provided. An installer's toolbox is never complete without these: a Rixson 185 quick spotter kit, metal straps for positioning the closer in the cavity, screws for attaching the straps, a spindle locator for positioning the closer, and a bubble level. To accurately align the closer in the top pivot, we suggest you use a Model 2604 pivot alignment tool. Here are the other common tools you'll need to have on hand to complete the installation. You'll need some cement, along with a bucket and a stir stick for mixing. You'll also need a trowel for distributing the cement around the closer case. A cased opening frame is used for center hung doors. Unlike a rabbeted frame, this frame has no stop. When opening, the door edge moves away from the frame. The Model 28 closer is single acting and requires an applied stop on the lock edge. A center hung door must have radiused edges. Using a level and a framing square, make sure the door is square at the top and bottom corners. Install the jamb portion of the top pivot into the header. Lower the pivot pin using the adjusting screw. Slide the aligning tool with the attached plumb bob line onto the pin and tighten the screw. Place the closer into the cement case and secure with the supplied screws. Use masking tape to prevent any cement from getting between the case and the closer. Attach the metal straps to the top of the closer with screws. Then insert the leveling screws. Lower the closer into the floor. Place the spindle locator over the spindle and move the closer into position. This locator is only used when the pivot point is 2 3/4 inches from the frame. Position the closer so the center of the spindle is aligned with the plumb bob. Confirm that the cement case is square with the opening. Place the bubble level on top of the spindle and make sure the closer body is level by using the leveling screws. Double check with a torpedo level. Remove the locator and the alignment tool and retract the pivot pin. Go ahead and put the finished plate over the top pivot. Now you're ready to surround the closer with cement. Some installers like to partially fill the hole with quick drying cement to test fit the door. To complete the operation, be sure to use standard cement, not quick dry products. While the cement sets, attach all the needed hardware to the door. Secure the door portion of the top pivot. Then attach the arm plate in the mortise in the bottom of the door. This is a wood door installation, so an extra plate is required on the underside of the door to protect the veneer. Install the cover plate, then the spindle collar. Next, turn the closing latch valves all the way clockwise. Be sure not to over-tighten. Attach the bottom arm to the closer and secure with a spindle screw. Turn the arm to approximately 30 degrees, then set the door on the arm. Align the frame and door partitions of the top pivot. Open the door slightly to gain access to the top pivot adjustment screw and turn it so the pivot moves down into the door portion of the pivot. This closer comes with centering screws in the face of the door. Insert one on each side of the door, then center the door on the closer arm by tightening the screws equally. Prop the door open at 90 degrees and turn the door locking screw. This screw allows you to move the door laterally towards the lock side of the frame. Back off the latch and closing speed valves. Then allow the door to close. Check the gap between the door and the frame. It should never be more than 1/8 of an inch. Now it's time to adjust the valves that control the operation of the door. The closing speed valve adjusts the speed of the door from full open to about 10 degrees. At that point, the latch valve takes control. This latch speed is critical to overcome weather stripping, latch bolts, and stack pressures. The back check valve adjusts the resistance that begins when the door reaches about 70 degrees during opening. Back check should never be turned to a point where it acts as a dead stop for the door. The closer in this installation has a hold open feature that turns the hold open on or off. Always adjust the closing speed first. Just choose a speed that's most comfortable for you. Next, adjust the latch speed. Be sure the door has enough speed at the end of the closing cycle to set the latch properly. And finally, adjust the back check. Normally, only slight adjustments are needed.